Good evening, one and all. Thursday, the 26th of September. The Grim Reaper here. No news. It's all doom and gloom. Oh my God. What are we going to do next? Only me. Oh, yeah. No. Good evening, everyone. Who would have known? Who would have known, eh? I set the show up for 10:30 tonight. I thought to myself, I'll do it, set it up for 10:30 because, you know, at the end of the day, Tottenham are playing tonight, so then they are gonna play. They'll finish by at 10 o'clock. I'll let all the big channels, because I'm the small channel. I'll let all the big channels do their finishing and their wrapping up and all that. And lo and behold, there was absolute nightmare problems in the area. What a bloody night! What a bloody night! And before we get into it, let me say hello to some people. I ain't done badly. I've got some people watching me. This is meant to be the Mop Up Show. I've got some people watching me, and we've only just finished the game. So let me say hello to a few people. Right, we've got good evening, Matt. He says shit game. Now I don't know whether that's tongue in cheek or whether he actually means that. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Matty. Matty will have to allude to me whether he's actually being real about it being a shit game. Uh, Peter Kagaias says hi, all 7:32 a.m. in Melbourne. Good morning to you, Peter. Is your shift finishing or are you still on shift? Because you came on to a show earlier. I'm sure I saw you, and it was a lot earlier. It was about 7 hours ago, and it was already gone midnight. Good evening, Ryan G. How are you, sir? He says, good evening, Jose. I hope you are well. Graham is here. Hi, Jose, and all result. Dave Williams is here. Good evening, Dave Williams. Says, in evening, Senor Jose and chat. Come on, you Spurs. 3 wins on the spin to take that momentum to Manure. We got the Wiz, Lee Wizkids here saying big up Jose in the chat. Good evening to you, Lee. Dekaru says evil. Johnny Bethnal Green El Vasco says fuck me, it's Dr. Death. Smithy is saying, Senor Garcia, you're about to go out on a bank job. Carl Simpson is laughing his head off. And Peter, no need for that, Peter, because not everybody is in that. People want Tottenham to win, but they just got different ways of showing it, mate. Daniel Coy says Bissouma is pants. I don't know whether he's being serious as well. I've got Matty coming in and giving it one thing. I've got Daniel coming in giving it something else. I'm not too sure. Bobby K says yes, Jose. Big up, buddy, and all in the chat. Good evening. Yes, good this evening now for you, Bobby. Good evening, Bobby. I hope you're well. It was a pleasure being with you on the We Are Tottenham TV Pump Up Show earlier on this evening prior to the game. And a lot of what we said, Bobby, I don't know, are we gurus or what? Because a lot of what we said actually panned out tonight. And I'll explain a bit more to people after I said hello. Johnson, 3 goals in 3. Big Dom, 2 goals and 1 assist in his last 2. Let's keep the momentum rolling. Peter Kagais is saying yes. I presume that you're saying that that's a yes in order that you're still finishing your shift off. That right centre back position is a Q red car magnet. Carl Simpson, yeah, it's a red magnet on the right hand side. Ronnie says, evening, Jose, and all come on, you Spurs. The one thing I will say, and I didn't ask, is please hit the like button. It really does help. Johnny Bethnal Green says the hate is still hating on over chats, and a few in here now. Oh, I don't know whether the people are hating. Dave Williams says, Senor Jose with the hood. Leo, the Mile High Hotspur. Good evening, Leo. Leo says, Jose, how about them Spurs? Much love, my homies. Leo, you on your way home? Because I presume, did you watch it in the pub in Denver tonight? Did you go out with your homies and watch it there? Let me know. Peter Kagaya says Bissouma had a shit game. Gray grew into the match. And Daniel saying, I'm serious, mate. 10 men and not Bissouma is terrible. Ooh. Marcos says, good evening, El Diablo. I hope all is well, mate. Come on, you Spurs. Marcos, how are you, sir? Was you at the game tonight? Because if you are, you must be typing this on your way home if you were at the game tonight. Or is it one of them ones that it's a late, because the kickoff is such a time, it might be awkward to get back home. I'm not sure. But I hope you are well, Marcos. Carl Simpson saying, never trust Bobby K with a pump up. Johnny Bethnal Green says, Peter, did you see his face when the final whistle went? He was gutted. We won. Proper clown. Big up, 1000%, Jose. Think Ben and Sim need to make a Messiah show for us. Daikaru says, I'm so frustrated I can't watch these games here. Can't comment on the game until I see the highlights. Was it not? Oh, is the European games not on Optus, Daikaru? They're probably not. Optus probably just carries the league games and that's it. Ronnie says, son, injury or worry. Was he injured? Or was that, was that him saying, look, you got to take me off type of thing? Oi Spurs geezer. People need to stop getting upset over other people's opinions. Calm down. It's not that serious. Yeah, that's what they are. Everyone supports the club differently and in their own way, but everyone wants us to win at the end of the day. So, we all say it in different ways and we all use different words for it, but we all want the team to win at the end of the day. The Mile High Hotspur says, about to head home, Jose. Matty Kushner says, performance awful. If we play like that against a normal team, we get walloped. I'm not too sure. I'm going to give some credit tonight, Matty. I'm going to have to. I have to give it some credit. Nate is here. Good morning to you, Nate. Says, great win, morning all. I hope you are well, Nate, down under. So we've got 2 people in the chat, 3 people in the chat from down under, which is superb. Buenas noches, José Angus. Angus, espero que todo esté bien. Good evening. Good evening to you, sir. It's even later for you. You're coming up to midnight out there in Spain, sir, because you're an hour further down the line. Just a Hammer Spud says this game had everything: early red card drama, goals galore, saved penalties, happy for all 3 goal scorers, and Vicario clean sheet. I'm going to come to Vicario. That's where I'm going to start in a minute. Daikaru said Optus has EPL in the women's games. There are about 4 different streamers that cover the European games. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Daikaru, it might be an idea to get one of these VPNs so you can hit up a different country to try and get the game. A bit like what we do here in England, using VPNs to get over to Optus, or if it's in Australia, or get over to Peacock in America and stuff like that in order to see the games. Marcus says, yeah, on my way home, typing while walking to the Seven Sisters station. These late games are not good for me. I think the day off is in order tomorrow. Well, you are your own boss, Marcus. So if you want to have the day off, you're more than welcome to do so, sir. It's your call, isn't it? David Clark, good evening, David, says, where's all the Vicario haters? Man of the match saved our asses again. Right. So, okay. So here's as we know, this is a mop-up show. So therefore, with it being a mop-up show, you lot can ask me as many questions as you want, or we can ask each other questions and stuff. But what I will say, right, I'm going to start with, it was a very good win. All right. We cannot turn around, and we need to stop being fickle. We need to stop doing these type of things, right? Where we say one thing and then we say another, right? Before the game, if you listen to me and you listen to a lot of people, people were saying that this Karabag team have got form in Europe. They've been in Europe. They got form. You know, they're no easy team to play against. People are going to tell us that they ran Leverkusen close last season. They've been in the Champions League the season before that. They've won their league for 11 years on the spin. You know, and everyone was pumping up Karabag, saying it wouldn't be an easy game, and it wasn't an easy game. But we've now beat them 3-0 with a man sent off. And now that we've done all this, people want to be negative about the result. Now, if you want to be negative, that's down to yourself. I'm not going to be negative. I'm going to be positive about it. And the reason why I'm positive is because we got another W. And I said a couple of weeks ago that what Tottenham need to learn to do is change the L's into W's. And I did say this a couple of weeks ago, so I can't go back on what I've said. And we've done that tonight. We turned it into another victory. It's 3 victories on the trot. So, at the end of the day, I'm as pleased as punch, and I'm proud of a few players that played tonight. And that all starts with Vicario. Vicario tonight, it's not just his saves. David Clark was alluding to his saves. It's not just his saves that he made. It was coming out for corners, coming out for free kicks, catching the ball, fisting the ball. When he was punching the ball out, when he made that one across the 6-yard box and he punched it out, he punched it as he saved, punched it as it was on the floor, and it's gone outside the area. The ball travelled. He's pushed the ball out further, not just parried it and it's going to land in someone's way. He done so much good tonight. And in the I did a show this morning on the Football Heritage, and I also did the pump up for We Are Tottenham TV. And in both shows, I said that with Vicario, I want Vicario to be playing tonight in goal, ahead of who we thought it was going to be, Fraser Forster. And I said, look, at the end of the day, Vicario has turned around and said that in the summer he needed to change a few things because he realized that he wasn't good at certain things and he wanted to change these things. And he said this in the summer. So he's gone away and he's working on changing these things now, right? So he's working on changing these things. Part of it is coming out for crosses, part of it's commanding his 6-yard box more, or if you want, commanding his penalty box more. A lot of it's more being more vocal, stuff whereby the defenders or the team, if they're defending, they have more confidence in their keeper because they think their keeper's going to come out and stuff, right? So at the end of the day, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that he played tonight, that he started. But not only did he start, but he put in a really good performance tonight. He did everything. Everything you want from a goalkeeper, he did tonight. And for that, I am so happy for him. And I'm so happy that Ange made the call to start with him and not start with Fraser Forster. I did say before the start of the game, on the other channels that I've been on, I've turned around and said, because today I've been doing a lot of, I went on two sides of a pitch podcast. I've done three channels today, but not my channel. And in all of them, I said the same thing. And for me, at the end of the day, I said that we need to go strong with our lineup. I didn't want to go with a weakish lineup like we did against Coventry. I wanted to go with a stronger lineup. And what we need to do is, or what I wanted was, I wanted to get away with no injuries tonight. Yes, we wanted the result, but I wanted to get away with no injuries tonight and get the W, because in this Europa League, it's the points that count. It's not whether you outscore a team home and away. It's points that count. You need to get into the top, and I want Tottenham to finish in the top 8 so they don't have to play 2 extra matches, because I've said all along that I feel that our squad is 2 or 3 players light, and that's no slant or slight against the club. It's just my feeling. I just feel that we could have done with 2 or 3 more players to have a bigger squad. So the thing that I asked for is no injuries. I asked for a win and to get 3 points, because that's what's important about this competition, is getting them 3 points. Now, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points. Yeah, so we got the win, we got 3 points. At the end of the day, I'm hoping that there's no injuries. So I'm hoping with Sonny, it's just him saying, I've run myself into the ground type of thing, and it's better for me to come off as a precaution. And so at the end of the day, everything we needed from today, we got. How you get there is going to be a different story in every game of how you get there. And today we got there. Everything I said on other channels today, never, ever, ever did it in my mind enter that we were going to play with 10 men for 90 minutes of the game. So, is it 90 minutes? Sorry, it might be just under 90 minutes, because we had three or 4 minutes of injury time in the second half, and we only had 1 minute in the first half. So it's just under 90 minutes. I'd probably say we probably played 88 minutes with 10 men. And, who would have thought that we would have played with 10 men and got a result like this? And at the end of the day, like I said, if you're going to turn around and say they're a good side, they ran Leverkusen close last season, 5-4 in aggregate. They were like 2 minutes away from going through in the last 16 last season. The season before in the Champions League, they've won the league. The no mugs, blah, blah, blah. Right, so the no mugs, blah, blah, blah. But we've come away with 3 points and a 3-0 victory. So for that, I'm goddamn happy that we've got the 3 points, right? I'm goddamn happy. The results will show we won 3-0. That's what the results will show. So, first of all, I'm going to start out by saying Vicario. Vicario I'm going to start from the back, and I'm going to give it to Vicario. just before I carry on talking, we have got some more people saying, because I do read out the chat. So who is it? Daniel Coy said, one thing I'm a bit worried about, Spurs needless running from a game that should have been comfortable, 11 versus 11. But because of sending off, we were doing extra running today before the United game. Alan says, Hola, Jose, ¿cómo estás? Alan, I am well, my friend. I am well. Alan, did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? I haven't seen you in a while, Alan. So tell me if you watched the game. And if you did, it might be good to get your opinion on what happened tonight. So yeah, tell me if you watched the game. Sorry, I'm just trying to look at me phone as well talking, because all of a sudden you start receiving messages all over the place. Bear with me. Right, where are we? So yeah, so I'm fine. Leo says, Angus, I'm 100% on cloud nine. David Clark says, sorry, but Son is coming to the end of his Spurs journey. Spurs will extend Son's contract for another year, but that will be it. Do you think so, David? Because listening to his comments in his interview yesterday, he says he's not too perturbed by it, but he said that the club hasn't actually spoken to him about the new contract, and it runs out at the end of the season. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether they will extend it or not, but we'll have to wait and see. Bobby K says, question for me, Jose, has Radu put himself in a doghouse with that ridiculous play? I'm going to come back to Radu. To be honest, I need to come back to Radu, because I've got to say what I've said all along, so I'll have to come back to that. Johnny Bethnal Green says 10 men, 3-0 Yedo. Clean sheet with 10 players, says Peter. Finn, good evening, Finn, sir. How are you, mate? I hope you are well. Says big up, Jose, and everyone in the chat. In different performance, but great result, especially with 10 men. Correct. Can I just say to people, tomorrow is prediction show at 4 o'clock for this week. If you are not putting your predictions in the show live because you've missed the show for any reason, please put them in the comments section after the stream finishes, and I will add you to the list. Angus says, Jose, did you see my youngsters last night? Class performance. No, I didn't, but I was aware, and I spoke about this on another channel earlier, and I'll touch upon that afterwards as well. Angus. Then, of course, says they didn't, mate. I said as well, I'm pointing out Basuma guy was horrible in possession. Graham says, to be honest, at my age, I'm less concerned about clean sheets. I'm more worried about the wet ones. David Clark says, sorry, but a lot of Spurs are a joke. If Ange had parked the bus and we had just lost, you would have slaughtered him. So it's time to shut the hell up. Vindaloo says, Jose, you played a really bad team with those tactics. They missed 3 open goals and a pen. 10 men stuck with that high line. It was a comedy show. It wasn't a comedy show. There are ways of winning games. We won the game the way that we played, and there's ways of winning games. Listen, tell me, please, someone in the chat tell me, right? Look it up, because I've been watching football for many, many years. Tell me a team that has played for 88 minutes with 10 men for 88 minutes at 0-0. We went to 10 men and come away with a victory at the end of the day, 3-0 in whatever game you're playing. That is an achievement in itself. So, at the end of the day, yeah, they may have missed chances, or, they were poor shooting or whatever it may have been their efforts, but then we scored 3 and still missed some. So, at the end of the day, I'm not going to turn around and cave in and start beating the team up after coming away with a 3-0 victory. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And at the moment, I've only given props to one player at the moment. That's Vicario. Bear me, I need a drink. Right, sorry. Right, let me carry on. Hikaru says, having not seen the game, I followed along on Jesse's channel, so I'm to say that all my comments from here are in complete ignorance. No, you can say whatever you need to say, Hikaru. We welcome everybody's opinions, mate. You say what you want and what you feel you need to say. David Clark says Andy's system has nothing to do with Andy's system. It's individual players making bad decisions when in possession. Culprits like Son and Bissouma. Matty Kushner says, what does Matty say? Matty says, I disagree. I feel like we could have easily conceded 4 or 5 if they were slightly more clinical. Nevertheless, I'm so happy we won. Happy for Johnson and Solanke. Think Gray played superb as well. Interesting comment. Interesting comment, because I was going to talk about Gray. Quez Ali says, good evening, or good evening, Quez. I hope you're well. Let me see if I've caught up. Now we need to turn up Sunday, is what Finn says, and get the job done. Agreed. Vindaloo says, Vindaloo's talking to Bobby. Good evening, Vindaloo, by the way. Sorry, I didn't see you come in. So it's nice to see that you're here, Vindaloo. Good evening to you, sir. Matty Cushion says 3 for 3 for Johnson. Fair bloody play to him. People talking to each other. And then you've got Matty says, underrated opinion, but I think Burwell to cut. Underrated opinion, but I think Burwell to cover his face and cry. Not 100% he was crying, though. Was a bit far. He will get many more opportunities and will be starting every other week now. AJ, good evening, sir. How are you, mate? I hope you are well. AJ says a win is a win. Let me see who we got. Matty says a win is a win, but a poor performance is a poor performance. I don't know whether we had a poor performance, to be honest. I really don't. And I'll explain why I don't think we had a poor performance. Spurs are rubbish, winning 3-0 with 10 men. Absolute rubbish. Sack everyone for that win. Dekaru. I love it. We got some people on fire tonight, which is good. And David Clark says, why don't you Spurs fans mention the great chances that Spurs missed? Johnson open goal, Solanke's chances. It's exactly what I said. I said that we had chances as well. Right. So the second notable mention I'm going to give is I'm going to give Van der Ven a mention. I thought Van der Ven was, again, I call Van der Ven the blanket because he covers absolutely for everybody in that team. And I thought Van der Ven had another mature performance and played really well tonight. And I'm really happy for Van der Ven. So I'm going to give him his props as well because he did play well tonight. Another person who's going to go under the radar here, right, is Ben Davies. Ben Davies didn't put a foot wrong. Ben Davies started off at the left back position, and as soon as Radu got sent off, he then played centre back, and I thought he played well. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I thought he did well. But to be honest, right, he's not a sexy name, Davies, is he? For most people, and because he's not a sexy name, if his name was David Zinho or something like that, then people might give him some love and some more love and stuff. But because his name is Ben Davies, people turn around and don't give him the props. Ben Davies is a steady player who always, and I mean always, plays for the badge and plays for the shirt. And he's not a Tottenham lad. He wasn't born in Tottenham. Far from it. He's born a long way away from Tottenham. But since he's been at Tottenham, he wears that shirt. He knows what it means to the club. And he always puts in a solid performance. He always tries his best. He doesn't do things out of the ordinary and stuff like that. He tries his best for the team. So I'm going to give him a notable mention tonight. Another player I thought did well when he came on was the doggy. I've turned around and I, for one, said that with a doggy, he's obviously playing himself into fitness because he didn't have a pre-season like the others. And for me, I thought a doggy came on today, and I thought the doggy done well, got some good minutes inside himself again. And I'm hoping that that then catapults him a bit closer to all the others that had a pre-season. So it's unfortunate Dragosin got sent off, and that's what made the doggy come on. But I'm glad that the doggy got the minutes. Now, Archie Gray. I'm not sure whether I'm sold that he had a good game tonight. I thought that some of his ball carries were good, but I felt that Archie gave the ball away so many times and was weak on some passes as well. At the end of the day, what I say about Archie Gray is, for me, Archie Gray is always a midfielder and has been. If someone watched what I said on the pump up that we had Tottenham TV earlier on today, I said that Archie Gray at Tottenham, he's only just got there and they're playing him at right back. Right, so he's getting his first minutes of first team football at a Premiership club, playing at right back when he is actually a centre midfielder. And I can remember this happening before with a player that played for Liverpool, and his name was Steven Gerrard. Steven Gerrard came in at a similar age, 18, 19 for Liverpool, and they played him at right back with Steven Gerrard through the youth and everything was always a centre midfielder. But they started off playing him at right back, and after a fair few games, under his belt, playing at right back, then he was moved into centre midfield. The rest, as they say, is history. Look what look what he went on to do. He went on to lift some of them big shiny trophies. So at the end of the day, I prefer Archie Gray to be playing in midfield, but it might take some time for him to get his spot there. But I prefer him to play there, and I felt that tonight some of his passing was off, and some of his positional play was off. The stuff that he did, some of the travels and carries that he did with his ball were quite good. But yeah, it was a bit off for me, Gray, tonight. Rada Dragusin, where do I start with Rada Dragusin? I've always maintained that Dragusin's an up and atom defender. He always has been an up and atom defender. He's very raw, Dragusin, and I've said this in the past many a time that I think that Dragusin is very raw, and the reason why he's not getting game time at the moment at Tottenham, it's not because there's two fantastic centre halves in front of him, but it's because he's still young, he's still learning the game. The way that we play the game here and the way Tottenham play and the way that the Premiership football's played is totally different to what he played out in Italy. So it's a learning curve for him to learn. But today, I felt that every time he gets the ball, Dragusin, I'm not comfortable. I'm not comfortable that he knows what he's going to do with the ball, and I'm not comfortable that he knows how to carry the ball and stuff like that because he's still learning, right? But today, for him to be in the position that he was in, getting caught square on with their forward, and then dallying and then end up giving the foul, it was just like, really, you've got your chance to shine now, and at the end of the day, it is what it is. So, but there we go. So that's him. I thought Pape Sarr. Sorry, I've started with the defenders. So let me go and read some of the chat, and then I'll go on to the midfielders. So in here we have who we got next. Matty Kushner says that he thinks Davis was solid. Steve D say Steve D's brilliant. I like Steve D. Some people could give paracetamol a headache. Great result in difficult circumstances. Come on, you Spurs. Graham also says 100% Jose Ben Davis was excellent. Matty Kushner then says, sorry, some of you are talking to each other, and because you're talking to each other, I'm going to bypass the talking to each other. Matty Kushner says Davis was inverting when he was at centre back, forgot his position. Lol. Dekaru says, I have said in the past my love for Ben Davis. He's getting older, but I have full respect for him. He gives everything. David Clark says that Davis played well, but he made one horrific decision when caught in possession, and it should have cost us a goal. Should have, could have, would have is, David, you know more than me. You're older than me. You know about these stories. But should have, could have, would have. It was 3-0. It didn't result in a goal. You're saying it could have done, but it didn't result in a goal. So, but yeah, I do understand. Steve D says the 90 minutes for Gray was important. Nonetheless, he's a player in the making. I agree. Archie Gray, says David Clark, Archie Gray will be a good player, but he's nowhere near ready to be a first team starter. Dekaru says, under Conte, Davis was about the only player that properly stepped up early and period with all the injuries. I remember seeing Dyer get left for dead and Davis doing a diving save. Love Davis. The one thing I will say for Davis is you look at the trust that he was given by, it's not only Postecoglou, but every manager that he's played under at Tottenham has given him the trust, has trusted him. So that must go a long way. When you've got Pochettino, Nuno, Conte, Jose, Ryan, and now Ange, 6 managers he's had in his time, and all 6 managers. I don't know whether he was there. Was he there when Tim Sherwood was there? I don't think he was. But anyway, 6 managers would definitely have trusted him. So, and these managers are paid professionals in their profession of managing football clubs, and they've all put their trust in Ben Davis. So, who am I to then turn around and say anything different when people who do these jobs for a living all select him. So right, let me see. So I've caught up with that. So if I go into midfield, right, Pape Matar Sarr, I turn around and I say all the time about Pape Matar Sarr that he's a youngster. He's another one who's learning and he's plying his trade with the first team, and he's learning as well. But I don't quite see what Pape Matar Sarr is. I don't know whether he's a 6, an 8, a 10, a wide player. I don't know what he is. You know, he seems to do a lot of different things. He's like an energizer bunny, gets around the pitch, does a lot of different things. And I'm just like, you know, what is it that he's actually good at? What is his position? You know, so he got the start tonight, and I've got to give it to him. I thought Pape Matar Sarr put in a really good performance. For me, yeah, he put in a really good performance. You know, and he got a goal as well to boot. So yeah, he done really well. So yeah, so props to Pape Sarr, and he got a goal. All this stuff for Bissouma. All this stuff for Bissouma. I'm like, really? I didn't think Bissouma had that bad a game. Yeah, I don't think that Bissouma had that bad a game. I think if we look at it and you look that we were overrun because we were playing with two in the midfield. So in the first half, we played two in the middle of the park and we still kept three up front. We still played with Son, Solanke and Johnson and we had played two midfielders. So we were in the midfield, if anything, they should have eaten us alive in the midfield. So I thought Bissouma and Sarr together, I thought they did well. I thought they did well because they were out battled by they were battling and they had more players to battle with. Obviously, they had the extra man, so they had more players to battle with. It's not as if Karabag played with three up top because they played with a lot of players in midfield. I'd say they probably had five across the park in midfield. So, you know, we should have been well outnumbered and outgunned and outmanned. And I didn't see that. I thought Bissouma did okay. I don't think he's as bad as what some people are going in on him. I thought he did okay. As for Bergvall, yeah, I wanted to see Bergvall. Bergvall excites me. I think Bergvall's a kid that can do. He can do a lot of things. He's got stature. He's got poise. He can pass the ball. You know, he makes the right decisions. You know, when he's got the ball, and he's tackling. It's effortless. He wins the ball effortlessly. You know, so it was disappointing that he was substituted and he didn't get the rest of the game time, to be honest. But it is what it is. You've got Matty saying, I'm off. See you tomorrow for predictions. I was like, yes, thank you very much, Matty. I shall see you tomorrow. David Clark says, Spurs fans in the chat tonight after 8 minutes. What would you have done if you were Spurs coach? Park the bus for 90 minutes and lose, or be brave like Ange did and win? And Kuba says, good evening, Kuba, sir. I hope you are well. Nice to see your comments earlier on We Are Tottenham TV. It definitely made us on the panel chuckle at every single one that you wrote and that we read out for ourselves or that was read out for us. I only saw about 40 minutes of the first half. Did Sarr improve? Because I didn't really see him do anything. For me, Kuva, and we all watch football and we all see it from different eyes. For me, I just thought that having two midfielders, right, because that's what we did because we played the other three. Having the two midfielders, I just felt that Sarr and Biss done a lot of work for the team, you know, in the first half. And in the second half, um, yeah, Pape Sarr was everywhere, but he ended up scoring a goal as well, Kuva. So you know, it's not just about the defending and what he did for the team today, but he actually went and got a goal as well. So I've got to give him his props for that, mate. I really do. Ronnie says, agree, Jose. Biss was okay. Spurs, Graham says, Jose, see you tomorrow for predictions, my friend. Going to bed happy. Come on, you Spurs. I bet you are, Graham. And good night to you, sir. And I shall see you tomorrow for the predictions show. And then David Clark says, more concerned that Ange didn't remove Basuma after his yellow card. Left it far too long to bring on Bentancur. Ronnie says, to me, Sarr has gone backwards. Right. Angus, I'm going to star your question that you keep asking me because I'm trying to go through and finish off what I'm doing, and then I'll answer your question because it is a mop-up show and I do answer people's questions, so I will answer your question, Angus. Up front, I don't know, what did you guys think? Son, Solanke, and Johnson. I thought Son, sorry, what's his, Johnson. Start with him. Really happy for the kid. 3 goals in 3 games. Took his goal first time really well. Great finish from him. Could have had a second. There was one that he missed that he put wide past the post. Could have had another one. But in all, happy for the kid. You need to play the ball forward for him, right? So forward so he can run onto it. Because people say, what's all this pace that he's got? I ain't seen none of that. And you don't get to see it because we don't put the ball forward for him. If you put the ball forward for him, then you can see where he puts the afterburners on. And so for me, I'm glad that the kid scored and he got another goal. I don't know what happened at half time, whether it was a tactical change or whether he's picked up a tweak or they think that, they've got to rest him too many minutes and that. But bringing on Kulu meant that we only played 2 up top. We played 3 in the middle and then 2 up top. So therefore, we should have reined back control of the game. But I will say that most of the team had played in part of the 10-man, so to speak. So they're bound to, the legs were bound to have been getting into the red zone, if you like, for people's peak and stuff like that. So we had to make changes. Sonny. Hello, I've been reading. I've been reading your questions. I don't know this weather. We've had thunderstorms and everything here tonight, so I don't know whether the weather's messing around with everything. But yeah, sorry I lost you lot there for a minute. Yeah, what I was saying about Sunny. uh, right, it was. Got Cooper's telling me that I was really having a long thought about him, um, uh, and you said Sonny, then the South Korean government ended you. And then Johnny Bethnal Grayson says I was deep in thought. Right, with Sonny, I don't think he was exhilarating, but I think Sonny played for the team tonight. Did some really good things. Tried to set people up tonight. So I'm not going to knock Sonny. I thought Sonny done okay. Solanke for me, I can see Solanke and why we've bought him. For me, Solanke, the ball sticks like glue. The ball sticks like glue. Doesn't matter what angle you fire the ball at him, and you can fire the ball, pass the ball, do what you want. The ball sticks to Solanke, and I think he's so underrated. From now watching him more and more, I think he's so underrated, and I believe that this guy will go on to score goals and be an integral part of our team. He's a figurehead of our pressing. At the end of the day, I can't give him any more props than he's a very good player in my eyes, and he is the player that we need to keep away from injury. Now, Richarlison I don't think he's going to play anymore for Tottenham, unfortunately. I just don't think, I just think with everything that's going on in the background, I'm not sure whether he's going to play, and therefore we need him more than ever. It was good to see, although listen, when they put the board up for the final 3 minutes and we still could have made, is it another 2 substitutions? I was thinking to myself, please put Lancashire on. Please put Lancashire on. Just give him, if we're 3-0 up, there's like 3 minutes to go of injury time. Just let him have his, let him come on and make his first team appearance. And how proud would that be for the young lad to make his first team appearance, in the first team with a big stadium, a packed out stadium. I was really hoping that Lancashire would get on. But Lancashire now becomes that important player for us because we need to have rotation. We need squad rotation. We need to have people that come on and finish games because other players need a rest. And I'm afraid that I don't want Solanke to get burnt out. We haven't got Richarlison to fall back on. So Lancashire then for me becomes an important player and where he can tie up and get a few minutes at the end of the games as well. So, but for me, Solanke, I can see everything. Solanke's superb. He's an absolutely superb player. Angus is saying his son injured. He came off towards the end of the game, Angus, and we wait and see. I think, and I'd like to think that he did come off because he felt, that he was coming towards, his peak, so to speak, of the game, and that he needed to come off. I mean, he only came off with 10 minutes to go for that. So, yeah, I'm just hoping that it was just, him wanting to come off because he was more tired than anything else. Interestingly, did people see, because obviously Kuti was suspended, Maddison didn't get on the pitch. Now, if they've come off, right, it was interesting. I was thinking, so who's going to be the captain? Did everyone see who got given the armband? I think it speaks volumes when I saw who they gave it to. Then you've got Neil Kane. Good evening, Niall, mate. I hope you are well. He says, let's the mops out and the mop that floor. Yes. Niall, is there an Ash and Ellie and Chang show this week? I said, yeah, there will be a show on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. And I believe it will be Ash and Chang. That's not to say that Ellie might not pop in from Cyprus, but it's definitely the other two. So there's definitely a show on Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. But before that, we have other shows. We have tomorrow, the prediction show at 4 o'clock, the world famous Tel Cockerel prediction show at 4 p.m. And then on Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. BST, I'm doing a member show. So I'll be putting that link in Friday night. And that link will go out to all the members, and anyone from the members can all come on and have their say, which I'm looking forward to, because at the end of the day, this channel is nothing without yourselves. So it'd be good to get members on Saturday morning at 9:30. Solanke's hold-up play and pressing is great. That's what made our first goal. So David Clark agrees as well. Yeah, it gets it as well. Dekaru says that triple touch by Solanke in the Arsenal game was terrible to watch, but I've liked what I've seen since then. Solanke against Arsenal, and we've got a couple of Arsenal supporters in here. Against Arsenal, people firing the ball at Solanke, and he had Saliba. Saliba was holding on to him and was like glue on him, and he was bringing the ball down. He was trapping the ball, bringing it under control and that, and he was flinging Saliba around. And if people don't agree with that, especially the Arsenal boys, if you're saying I'm wrong, go back, watch the game. That's all I'm going to say, because if you didn't accept it on the day that it happened, well, watch it, because the game hasn't changed. The highlights are still there. No, but it was Saliba, Angus. Saliba was the one that was marking Solanke. It wasn't Gabriel that was marking, it was Saliba. And the ball, every time the ball got fired into him, it was always Saliba on him. Gabriel wasn't on him at all. And that's what I'm saying. Have a look. Lancashire had a really bad hamstring injury, so we are being careful with him. I'm aware, David, but I'm saying that, with Richarlison not being there, Solanke is important, and now it's important that we get someone in to squad rotate, so Solanke doesn't get burnout, and that's where Lancashire will come into his own now, because once he's up and running and that, he'll be able to take some of the game and some of the pressure off him. Dekara says, "F you, Jose. Don't say, did everyone see he was given the captain's band? I didn't see it. Tell me." Right, the captain's armband was given to none other than Vicario. Vicario was the captain when Sonny went off. So it wasn't given to Davis. It didn't go to Bentancur. It didn't go to anybody. It went to Vicario. Vicario was the captain for the end of the game. So it tells me now that you haven't got So without Romero being there, Madison didn't get on, and Sonny coming off, the person who then got the armband was Vicario, which was, really, really impressive. Good evening, Robbie from Lily White Lane. Robbie's here, says, big up those in the chat. Showed some grit today and thought VDV, Solanke, Johnson, and Vicario looked good. Better team would have beaten us tonight, but play what's in front of you. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I really ain't. And then he says, Man United and Brighton next, see what we're really about. Look, we can't turn round, right? And we can't just turn around and say, yeah, we've won this game, but now we've got to see what we're about in the next game. At the end of the day, we need to change the L's into W's. I keep saying it. L's have got to become W's, and we've got to do it more often. So we've won 3 on the bounce so far, but we've got to do this more often. We've got to start going on these runs. 3, 4, 5, 6 game runs. Not win one game and then be indifferent for the next 4. We need to be consistent and start getting the 3 points, whether it be the league, whether it be the Europa, whether it be a win in the Cup, in the Carabao, whatever. We just need to go on winning streaks, and we need to be winning more games. At the end of the day, people say, and I will say, every game this season is important for Tottenham. It's not the next one and the next one. Every single game is important. If we want to measure ourselves and see where we are, we need to take that effort and that commitment into every game. If you show effort and commitment and you come away, right? If you show effort and commitment and you come away, you get a draw, then you get a draw. But if you show effort and commitment, you come away with a win, you come away with a win. You can show effort and commitment and maybe lose a game, but it's how you lose the game and whether you've shown the effort and commitment. So we need to do that in every game. I don't just look at it as being here and now. It's every single game. And it's not only Tottenham. Every game for every team should be about effort and commitment. And people need to go out and put runs together. And let's see whether Tottenham can do that. And I'm looking forward to Sunday's game. We get a day less rest than Man United. Man United also went out pretty strong with their lineup yesterday. I thought Man United went out pretty strong as well with Barnsley, with the lineup they put against Barnsley last week. So at the end of the day, we'll see. We'll see. Angus, if you lose on Sunday, me and Vindaloo will be here to help you through the pain. I bet everyone is thinking that's nice of Vindaloo until the second comment. Right. So you got to get Robbie. For me, you got to get it right against everyone. Doesn't matter who you play. You got to get it right against everyone. You have to show effort and commitment in every game. I don't care whether we're playing Derby County or Manchester City. You've got to show effort and commitment and application and desire in every single game for me. It's not about just doing it in clumps. You've got to do it every single game. That's the way the team gets better. Dekaru says, in all seriousness, Jose, I've said from the start that Andy's about cultural change in the club. That's going to hurt. I think we're almost there. Now we need to build consistency. After comes success. Just a harmless potato is saying they rested Casemiro and De Ligt. Right. I did say, if people haven't seen any of the shows that I've been on today, I've turned around and said that I feel that teams have gone in strong in the Carabao Cup, right? So, and this is where I'm gonna come and answer the question that I think, Angus, you've asked me that I've started. I said that I felt last week, the games that were played last week, I felt that teams had gone in stronger than what they normally would do. Normally in the third round of a Carabao Cup or second round of a Carabao Cup, teams go in quite light. They do the changes, they play all the kids, they're going quite light, right? And also, I felt that a lot of the teams had played stronger than usual sides. All right. So that was last week. But then we had matches this week. Now, yesterday, and I did talk about Arsenal on another channel earlier. So it would have been on Football Heritage TV. I talked about Arsenal then. So that everything I'm saying now, I said it on that show earlier on today. And I said that with Arsenal played the 16-year-old goalkeeper. You played Skelly out at left back, or I think you played left back, and you played Namweri out on the right-hand side, right? And Namweri, for those that don't know, Namweri is in the same England under-17s team as Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore wears the 11, Namweri wears the 10 for England. And to me, I think that apart from them three players, Arsenal went in strong. If you look at the rest of the team, Arsenal went in strong. They didn't put a weak inside out. They went in strong. You know, you had Rice played, Sakkā played, or whoever it was. Was it Sakkā or Martinelli? One of them played and one of them didn't. But then you played with Havertz. All the players played. So at the end of the day, you had, you put out a stronger side than what I would have expected. And it's not just Arsenal, because I thought Villa put out quite a strong side. Liverpool against West Ham, Liverpool put out a strong side. So when I'm looking here, it looks like that the cup this year, because normally what I say is that the first round of the Carabao Cup, which is the second or third, depends when you enter it. So let's say the third round, right? So let's say the third round. In the third round of the Carabao Cup this year, teams have gone a lot stronger than what they have in the past as a collective, right? And if I look at yesterday's game in the Europa League, because Man U were in the Europa League yesterday, Man United went in with a strong side against Twente. Was it Twente they played against, or who? Who did they play? Whoever they played, or AZ Alkmaar. Whoever they played, they went in with a really strong team last night as well. So it looks like, with all the moaning and the groaning and all these football associations lumping more and more matches and that, which I think is wrong, because the calendars don't line up. It just means these players don't get any chance and don't get any opportunity for any rest. They're just playing constantly, and people keep throwing competitions in and competitions in. But to me, I was really surprised that the teams were that strong in the Carabao Cup this week. The next round of the Carabao Cup is in 4 weeks' time. 5 weeks' time. 4 weeks' time, I'm going to say. Or it might be 5 weeks. It could be 5 weeks. The week of the 28th, I think the games are being played the 29th and so on. So, yeah, in about 5 weeks' time, let's see where we are then, because in 5 weeks, a lot can happen. You can have injuries, because it's all about the variables. You can have injuries to players. Players can go off form and whatever. So remains to be seen. But let's see what lineups teams put out in 5 weeks' time in the next round of the Carabao Cup. Will they be as strong as what they were this week? Now, I say that personally, for me looking, I felt that the teams were stronger in this round than what they have been in the past. I thought loads of players would have been dropped, and players would have played a lot more of the youngsters, and players that probably don't even get a look in on the subs bench normally. But that didn't happen for me this time around. That's my personal opinion. I might be, you might say, oh, you're absolutely wrong, but that's what my thoughts are, and that they were my thoughts last week, and they're my thoughts this week as well. So that's my answer to what you asked me earlier, Angus. And whilst you asked me that, I saw we have someone that's popped in and said hello. So I'm going to say hello. It's Jordan from the Jordan Sports Hub. Says, hey, Jose. Hi, Jordan. I hope you are well. I hope you're well, mate. And you don't think, really, Angus? I don't think we'll play as strong a team as we did last night. The youngsters will get more game time. Like I said, I don't know what's going to happen in 5 weeks' time. I really don't know what's going to happen, because between now and then, you've still got an international break to come. The one thing I do hope, it's not only for Tottenham, it's for every team now, is I always talk about people getting injured, right? And if players get injured, okay, it's their livelihood, but they get injured, they can be affected both physically and mentally by not being able to play football. It's their job, but they can get affected. So I don't wish any injuries on any player for any team. But between now and 5 weeks, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you now, 100% certainty who's going to be available and who isn't in 5 weeks' time. And that's why I'm saying that, let's wait and see what happens in 5 weeks' time. But, to me, yesterday or the third round of the Carabao Cup, I thought a lot of players So a lot of teams went strong. That's all I'm saying. So, you know, I just feel that, yeah, a lot of teams went strong. By that time, hopefully, I'm praying that Odegaard is back. I don't even know how long Odegaard's out for, Angus. I really don't. Dakaru, wishing all well. Friday work day is kicking in, so I'll have to go. Dakaru, take care, my friend. I hope you have a good day at work today. Nice seeing you here. If you want as well, Dakaru, if you can't make the show tomorrow at 4 o'clock, leave your predictions on the end of the stream, and I'll add you in, mate, because I'll always welcome you back. It was good having you doing them last season. You have been missed this. If Vindaloo's around tomorrow, Vindaloo, come and join Angus and come and do predictions, mate. Do the predictions. Enter our predictions league. It's a good game. We all have a laugh by it. So what I will say is, anyone else got any questions that they want to ask? If anyone's got any questions they want to ask, just put them in, and we answer them. That's only if you've got some questions. If you haven't got any questions, then don't force it. He said a few more weeks. He said in an interview he thought it was going to be worse. He's had his ankle injuries before, but never this bad. Yeah, but in saying that, normally someone would give a timeline of how long it will be, Angus, and that's what I'm saying. I've not heard anyone say to me, "Yeah, he's out for 6 weeks," or "Yeah, he's out for 3 weeks." I've not heard anyone give me a timeline on it, and that's why I was asking: is there a timeline on it? I've not heard. I mean, as I said, and I'm brutally honest, Angus, whether it doesn't matter what team you support in the world, I don't wish that, not even just the footballers, I don't wish illness on anyone at all. You get health's a one-time gig. You only get given one-time health. So at the end of the day, I just, for footballers, because that's their profession, I just hope they can stay injury-free. Staying injury-free also makes it your best team that you can pick from and stuff like that. And that's what I want for everyone. I don't like to play. When we played you a couple of weeks ago, people said, "Yeah, but they ain't got Odegaard and they ain't got Rice." At the end of the day, it's not about not having Odegaard and Rice. Yeah, we would have preferred to play you with Odegaard and Rice, but it wasn't to be because they were, for whatever reason, not playing. But at the end of the day, you want to be playing against the best 11 that a team can put out. So I don't wish, as I said, injuries and an illness on anybody in whatever you do, any human being. I don't wish that on anyone at all. What time are you on tomorrow, Jose Vindaloo? Vindaloo, we do the prediction show at 4 o'clock, mate. 4 o'clock we do the prediction show. And as I said, if you miss the show and you're not able to do, because we do the predictions live, everyone tells me what scores they want, and I do it live. But if you're not around for it, then after the show on the stream, as long as you leave them there, I will pick them up. What I will say to you guys is that one person last week put the predictions in about about half an hour in from the West Ham Chelsea game, and they put a result in there, and I had to go back, and they put it in the stream and the comments after the streaming finished, and I had to go back to them and say, "Look, I can accept 9 of your fixtures, but I can't accept your first one because the game started 30 minutes ago." Anyway, the person who did it predicted 3-0 to Chelsea, and at the time he put the prediction in, they were 2-0 up. And they did end up winning 3-0, but they were 2-0 up. But because the game was half an hour in, I couldn't accept the first score, but I accepted the other 9. So, you know. And then Lou says, anyways, people, got to go. Have fun. Peace. And Bobby K, stay away from the oil. Angus says, por eso eres buena persona, José. Muchas gracias, Angus. Tú también eres buena persona. Y gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. So, is there anybody else that's got anything else? If there isn't any questions for me, then I might wrap up and have myself an earlier night than what I thought I would do, because I, like a lot of people, have work in the morning. I have work in the morning as well, which means I have to be up. So it's now, what's the time now? 11:30? Yeah, it's 11:30 now, and I have to be up in the morning for work. Just a quick one. I was asked by another content creator that was on, said, how many teams concede more than 40 goals in a season and win the league? So I went and looked it up. Does anyone know the answer? because I looked it up and I can only find one answer for this, and I might be wrong. There might be more than one answer, but I could only find one answer for this. And the answer I found is that Man United have won the Premier League on 3 occasions, and they've conceded more than 40 goals. So 96-97, Man United conceded 44 goals. In 99-2000, so when they did the treble, right? Is it no? They did the treble the season before that. In 99-2000, they conceded 45 goals, but the top 3 that season, which was United, Arsenal, and Leeds, all 3 teams conceded more than 40 goals. So that was interesting. And in 2012-13, they conceded 43 goals. So Man United have conceded more than 40 goals on 3 occasions and still won the league. Because someone was asking, so I had to look it up, and I was just wondering, because there's only one answer that I could find. I was thinking to myself, is it only Man United, or is there anyone else as well? So it appears that it's only Man United. So there we go. See who am I cheering for? It doesn't matter who I'm cheering for. Good evening, Jose. Hope you're well, says this is Colin Blackshaw. Yes, Colin, I am well, sir. I hope you are well as well. Can you check our double winning team? How many did we concede in 1998? 1998? You talking about 1988? Did you win the double in 88 or 98? Oh, in 88, my mates went to that game. In 88, you beat Liverpool 2-0 at Anfield to win the league, didn't you? And my mates, because all me Gooner mates were, they gave up their season tickets because they said that Arsenal at the Emirates had become the prawn sandwich brigade, so they gave up their season tickets and they only go to away games now. I don't know, 1998. So Premier was it Premier League? It was Premier League back then, wasn't it? Premier League standings. Let's have a look for you because you've asked me the question. Premier League standings, table, 24-25. When did you win it? 1998. Oops. Premier League table. That's very nice of you to say that, Colin. You and along with I've heard that from a lot of other people now as well say that, which is it's really really nice to hear. For me, so looking forward to the prediction show tomorrow. It's part of my Friday now. I hear a lot of people say that they look forward to Friday to doing the predictions, which as I said, I'm honoured and I'm really happy that that's the case for people. Table again, right? Table. So why isn't it showing me the table then? I don't want to see Brighton. I want to see the table. Right. If my computer plays ball, I'll be able to see it. Premier League table, right? 24. Right. What season did you? Fuck, Jesus Christ! I have to go down further. Oh, this only goes down to 14-15. Does it go any further? It only goes 14-15. So Premier League standings in 1998. Premier League is that the 97-98 season? Is that Angus? Is that 97-98 or is that 98-99? It's got to be 97-98 surely. 1987, 1997-98, yeah. Premier League standings in 1998. Let me see what this comes out. Right, Arsenal. Okay, so you won the league that season. I've got you now, 88. Right. What did you say you wanted to know? Can you check our double winning team? How many did we concede? Right, okay, right. So you scored 68 goals and you conceded 33 to win the league, and you won the league that season by 1 point from Man U. Man United had scored 73 and conceded 26. So they'd scored 5 more goals than Arsenal and conceded 7 less, and you beat them by 1 point and got 1 point in the league that year. You got 78, they got 77. And what's quite interesting, I didn't know it's going so far back, Angus, but what's interesting is that Arsenal won the league with 78 points. And it was 3 points back then for a win, right? But you won the league with 78 points. You now need a lot more points than that to win the league, because 78 don't get you the winning league anymore. And the teams that went down that season were Palace and Barnsley, had 33 and 35 points. And Bolton went down on goal difference. Everton pipped them, and Bolton went down with 40 points. So back then, 33 to 40 points sent you down, and 70, what did I say? You got 68? 78 points won you the league. So it just shows you how football's moved on, man. It's just madness. It's just absolute madness. But anyway, with that being said, right, I think I'm gonna call halt to proceedings tonight. That was the show. I wanted to get one out there because I hadn't been on since Monday on my own channel. So I wanted to get one out there and reintegrate the Mop Up shows that I do on a Thursday night. It's worked out for me that the time that I set up, Tottenham kicked off late because of everything that was going on with the trains, the traffic, accidents everywhere. And I hope the people that have had the accidents, I hope everyone's okay. But it's worked out well for me tonight in the sense of the time I came on. But listen, I'm going to love you and leave you all. I'm going to wish you all, for those that still got some more of the day left, I think in North America, you're anything between 6 and 9 hours behind us. So you still got a chunk of the day left. So enjoy the rest of your chunk of the day. For those that in Europe, in front of me, so that's you, Angus, you're already going into a new day, or you've gone into Friday already. And for those down in Australia, you're have a pleasant Friday because you're into Friday morning now. So I wish every single one of you all the very best. I look forward to seeing all of you at 4 o'clock tomorrow on the predictions show. And as I always finish, I'm going to say, come on, you Spurs. Take care, everyone. Be good to yourselves, and I shall see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Bye.